Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I will discuss about the spinels. So this is also a very important topic for your CSI, NET or GATE exams. Okay, so let us start. What are spinels? Spinels have general formula of A, B, 2, O, X4. So this A and B can be metals from transition metals or S-block metals. And this X is oxygen, sulfur, selenium, fluorine or CN, etc. So this is a normal what is the ratio of A, B and X is 1:2:4. Okay, and what is the oxidation state of the metals? So the metal which is less in number means 1 will have lesser oxidation state 2, and the metal which is more in number 2 will have more oxidation state, that is 3, and then this one. You can remember in this way. The metal which is less in number will have lesser oxidation state, and the metal which is more in number will have more oxidation state. Okay. Now, what is normal spinel and what is inverse spinel? Two types of spinel is observed. So this depends on the occupancy of the dipositive cation and tripositive cation in octahedral and tetrahedral fields. So which is octahedral field and which is tetrahedral field? If this is a hole and 4 ligands are there around it in a shape of tetrahedron, then this hole will be called as tetrahedral hole or tetrahedral site. And if a vacant position is there and ligands are distributed such that around it makes a octahedron, then this hole will be called as octahedral hole or octahedral site. Okay. So normal spinel will depend on if this cation which is less in number and has 2 oxidation state, then and if it occupies tetrahedral site, means a hole having less coordination number, and the cation, tripositive cation, which is more in number and more in oxidation state, will occupy a site which is having more coordination number, that is octahedral hole. That will be called as a normal spinel. So you can remember in this way. The metal which is less in number have lesser oxidation state and occupy a site with less coordination number, and the cation which is more in number will have more oxidation state and will occupy the site with more coordination number. And what will be the inverse spinel then? Put this dipositive cation in octahedral hole and take one tripositive cation in tetrahedral hole. If you change like this, then it will be a inverse spinel. Take this tripositive cation in a tetrahedral hole and put the dipositive cation and another tripositive at the same position like octahedral hole. Then this O4 I am taking is oxides. Okay, most of the spinels are seen in oxides. Okay, so this will be called as inverse spinel. Then how will we will determine if a spinel is normal or inverse? For that, if the metals A and B, these metal can be same or different. Okay, first thing is this. Second thing, if these metals are non-transitional metals, then it will follow a normal spinel. Sorry. And if these metals are transition metals, then what we have to do? We have to check CFSC of these dipositive and tripositive cations. See here, if the tripositive cation in octahedral hole have more CFSC than the dipositive cation in octahedral hole, then it will be a normal spinel. That means the tripositive cation is getting more stabilized in octahedral hole. CFSC more means more stabilization. Therefore, if CFSC of trivalent cation in octahedral hole is stabilized more, means CFSC more, then it will have a normal spinel. Means CFSC of tripositive cation in octahedral hole is greater than the CFSC of dipositive cation in octahedral hole, then it will be called a normal. And what will be the inverse then? CFSC of tripositive cation in octahedral hole, if less than the CFSC of dipositive cation in octahedral hole, then it will be a inverse spinel. Let us check some examples so that it will be very clear to you. Okay. Let's take the example of FeCr2O4. So both are having, here iron is having +2 oxidation state and chromium is having +3 oxidation state. So in this case, we have to find out Fe2+ is D6 system, and in octahedral hole, how the d orbital splits. Eg level in the upper level is Eg level and the lower level is T2G level for octahedral environment, and 6 electrons. Here one thing you have to note, that oxide and act as weak field ligand. Therefore, the complex will be high spin complexes always. One exception is there. I'll discuss that after this one. So fill the 6 electrons for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then what will be the CFSC? See, this value is del 0 or 10 dq. I'll tell you to take it 10 dq so that the calculation will be easy. So this is very centered. Then this will be 6 dq and this will be 4 dq, minus 4 dq and plus 6 dq. You know that. Now how will find out the CFSC? Takes 2 electrons into 6 and this will be minus, actually plus, so 1, 2, 3, 4 into minus 4 dq. This is dq total. You have to take mod of the CFSC value. This is minus 4 dq, mod is 4 dq. Okay, and check the chromium 3+, which is D3 system, octahedral environment. What will be the CFSC? So here 1, 2, 3. So 3 into minus 4 dq. So if you take the mod, then it will be a 12 dq. So this value is more, means the trivalent cation in octahedral field is getting more CFSC value than the divalent cation in octahedral hole. Okay, this divalent cation. Therefore, here it will be a normal spinel. So this way you have to calculate. One more thing here I have to discuss to you. If the transition metals are both transition metals, but they have configuration of D0 high spin, D5 or D10, then CFSC is 0, we know. Let's take the example of Zn Fe2O4. Zinc 2+ and iron 3+. Zinc 2+ have D10 system and Fe3+ is D5 system. Both of the cases CFSC is 0. Therefore, it will follow a normal spinel. Let's take the example of CO3O4. Here one exception I'll tell about. So here cobalt 2 is the divalent cation and cobalt 3 is the trivalent cation. Okay, so let us find out the CFSC of cobalt 3 first in octahedral field. Here one exception is that cobalt 3 when attached with oxide anions, then here this ligand will act as a strong field ligand. This is one exception. Back in any other cases, all will be high spin complexes, but in case of only cobalt 3 cation, it will be a low spin complex. Okay, so this is the exception. So what is a crystal field splitting, and what system it is? Cobalt 3 is D6 system. Then number of electron 1, 2, 3, but it will be a low spin 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore, CFSC will be 24 DQ. Okay, and then find out the cobalt 2 system in octahedral, which is having D7 system. Here actually it will be a high spin complex. Okay, high spin complex. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Then what will be the CFSC? In this case, this is 4, this is 6, so 2 into 6 plus 1 2 3 4 5 into minus 4. So it is 8 DQ actually. Sorry, you can see. So it is 8 DQ. Therefore, see here, the cobalt trivalent cation is having more CFSC than the divalent cation in a octahedral situation, octahedral site. Therefore, it will be a normal spinel. Then I will draw it, because this question came in December 2012 in NET question. So you will draw it like this: cobalt 2 plus will be in tetrahedral sites, and 2 cobalt 3 plus in octahedral site, and O4. This was given. This is this spinel. In this spinel, what will be the structure? So this will be the structure. This question came before. Now let us discuss some other questions. See, one question is there, is given that Fe Cr2O4, which spinel is this normal spinel, it is mentioned, and nickel Ga2O4. In this case, is you can see, you have to tell which positions are occupied, which sites are occupied by iron, chromium, nickel, alkalium. So here iron will be is normal, and it is mentioned that it is inverse. You can see here that gallium is not non-transition metal and nickel is transition metal. That means nickel 2 will have more CFSC than gallium 3 in an octahedral field. Therefore, as the dipositive cation is getting more CFSC in octahedral field, therefore it will be inverse spinel. Then how will draw it? So gallium 3 plus will be in a tetrahedral site, and nickel 2 and another gallium 3 will be octahedral site, and O4. And here iron 2 will be in tetrahedral site, and chromium 2, chromium 3 will be in octahedral sites. This will be the spinal structure. So this question also came in probably 2018 or something, yeah, like that. Okay, now another important thing I have to discuss with you about the spinels is that, see, in a cube, several octahedral hole and tetrahedral holes are present. Okay, if you calculate, actually in a cube, in the middle one octahedral hole remains, and in the edges, these are the edges of a cube. In the middle of every edge there are one octahedral holes are present. Then what is the total number of octahedral holes in a cube? See, this is 1 plus here 12 are there, 1 2 3 4 and 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12 each edge, because in a cube 12 edges are there, so 12 holes. But this each hole is again will be shared by 4 cubes. Like this plane, with this plane another cube will be there in the up, and with this plane another cube will be in the left side. Okay, so this way, actually if you think three-dimensionally and see the pictures in the books properly, you can see one octahedral hole in the edge will be shared by 4 cubes. Therefore one cube will have total 3 edge octahedral hole in the edges and 1 in the middle. Therefore total 4 octahedral hole is there. But you know, in a spinel how many trivalent tripositive cation is there? 2. So among the 4 octahedral hole, 2 cations are there in normal spinel. In case of normal spinel, I am telling 2 ions are there and in a 4 hole. Therefore, half of the octahedral hole will be occupied by B3, means tripositive cation. And how many tetrahedral hole is there in a single cube? See, if this is a cube, again I am drawing. Here actually 8 tetrahedral holes are there. This you can read in a solid state. Okay, so these 8 holes all are inside one cube. So it's not sharing with other cubes. Therefore, total 8 tetrahedral holes are there. But how many ions are occupying? Only one tripositive cation in case of normal spinel is occupying the tetrahedral sites. That means one cation and 8 number of hole is there. Therefore, 1/8 fraction of tetrahedral hole occupied by trivalent cation. Okay, so in case of normal spinel, half of the octahedral hole will be occupied by trivalent cation, tripositive cation, and 1/8 of the total tetrahedral hole will be occupied by tripositive cation. In inverse spinel, what will be the case? So a question also came from this portion, so you also have to understand this thing very well. Okay, in case of inverse spinel, what will happen? So this is inverse spinel. See, inverse spinel B3 will be in tetrahedral hole, and 1A2 and 1B3 tripositive will be in octahedral hole. So this is the case of inverse spinel. In that case, what will happen? How many total tetrahedral hole is there? 8. And one tripositive cation is occupying the one of the hole between among the 8 tetrahedral holes. Therefore, 1/8 of the tetrahedral hole will be occupied by tripositive cation, and see, another tripositive cation is occupying octahedral hole. So how many octahedral hole is there? 4 total, and one tripositive cation is occupying 4 octahedral hole, and one tripositive cation is occupying that octahedral hole. Therefore, 1/4 of the octahedral hole will be occupied by B3 cation. And again, here see, dipositive cation is occupying one octahedral hole. So total octahedral hole is 4. The dipositive cation is 1. So 1/4 of the octahedral hole will be occupied by a dipositive cation in case of inverse spinel. So the question came for the normal spinel. See, it GATE 2017 this question came. Okay. So but you have to also remember for the inverse spinel also, because next time maybe the question will come from the inverse spinel, that how many fraction of the tetrahedral hole is occupied by the tripositive cations, and how much fraction of the octahedral hole is occupied by this dipositive and tripositive cations. So this is very important to know for you. Okay, so I think I'll finish my lecture today. I'll come with another topic in the next day. Thank you for your watching. Please like, share and subscribe.